And it is such a beautiful, significant day at Channel 2 as we celebrate 40 years of Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns. We are taking a look at his legacy over the years as we wish our Chief Glenn Burns a happy retirement.
Live, local, late-breaking. This is Channel 2 Action News at 4 p.m. Coverage you can count on.
And thanks so much for being with us today. Hello, I'm Wendy Corona.
I'm Justin Farmer, and yes, indeed, all afternoon we'll be celebrating 40 years of Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns right here at Channel 2 as we're sending him off into retirement.
And we're going to continue to do that, but first let's get you to this breaking news. Today, it's a big day here at WSB as we are celebrating 40-plus years of Glenn Burns. And these clips show just a fraction of the 4 decades our Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns has served us all here in North Georgia. Always ready to let you know when severe weather is heading your way. This man is prepared. Today is Glenn's last day before he retires, but not the last time we're going to see him on the air. No, we're going to let him still have that key card because Glenn will become Chief Meteorologist Emeritus after today. And Glenn, you've been working so hard, and here you are at this last broadcast.
Yeah, but you remembered why I retired here. You're wearing it, Justin. That shirt and tie there, that tie has got a lot of trout on it, which is in my future. Absolutely in my future. Thanks, guys. Yeah, 40 years, long time. And again, thank you for putting your trust in me and Severe Weather Center, too. And I'm leaving you without any severe weather today. What a gorgeous day, right? 63 degrees here in Atlanta.
All right, Glenn, thank you much. Now we're talking more about Glenn Burns because what a great topic. The Fulton County Board of Commissioners have designated today as Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns Appreciation Day. They made this proclamation last Wednesday with Glenn right there. And on that same day, Channel 2 Action News got a chance to celebrate Glenn here at our studios in Midtown. And look who was with him. Yeah, you know it. Monica Pearson, John Pruitt, Chuck Dowdle, and your lovely wife, Susan, up there. Man, that's a day we will never forget.
No.
For more than 40 years, Glenn has helped keep all of us safe. The co-workers also thanking you, buddy, for being a friend, a mentor to so many, a true gentleman, and the consummate professional.
Well, thank you so much, and I am truly honored to be Atlanta's Chief Meteorologist for the last 40 years, working with you all. I mean, this is the best of the best. We're the #1 news station of the country. These are the #1s. I mean, absolutely amazing. Just incredible to work with you both over the years.
I've been here coming up on 10 years, and in those 10 years, it has been a daily lesson on professionalism, how to carry yourself, how to treat people, always with the utmost kindness. Thank you, Glenn, for all that you've done.
You're very welcome, and just been a great career, and I'm just so thankful to all of you for watching over these years.
I am always fascinated with these things that Glenn will arbitrarily throw in, some very scientific thing. You know, I'll say, Glenn, what in the world is that? Give me one.
You just try to make it easy. When green meets red, get under the bed. I've been saying that for decades. You know, when we have a tornado on the radar, you have green and red right next to each other. That's the signature of a tornado, and always want to say, you know, I realize kids are scared, moms are scared, they're home alone. I just try to remain a little bit on the calm side when these things are coming down. But again, when green meets red, get under the bed, people remember that, and they tell me that every time I'm out speaking to a group or something like that. So
see, he's not just a pretty face.
A comet is a dirty snowball.
Yeah, that's the one I love.
I thought that was the last one we got. Yeah.
All right, we're just getting started on loving on Glenn Burns today. Always has his eye on the sky, but it's not just the weather on his mind. No, look where he is. In our next half hour, we're learning much more about Glenn's love of space. And all afternoon, celebrating 40 years of Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns, including this special message from World News Tonight's David Muir.
Hello, everyone. David Muir here. And Glenn, from all of us here at World News Tonight and ABC News, we just wanted to wish you the most rewarding retirement ahead. After more than 40 years of tracking tornadoes, hurricanes, snowmageddon, viewers have turned to you at every turn. You've kept them informed. You've helped to keep them safe. Enjoy your retirement and some well-earned time with your family. And if anyone has earned it, it's you. Congratulations, Glenn.
Oh, it's a special day, a blast from the past with Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns. And have a look at this, huh? Some old video of our friend Glenn showing us just a glimpse of the 40 years he spent here at Channel 2 Action News. Now, tomorrow, Glenn's first day of retirement. But we're not saying goodbye for good. No chance. After today, Glenn will be called Chief Meteorologist Emeritus and come back for the most important weather days.
And we're making him work right to the very end. We're going to be greedy with you today, Glenn. You know, always making sure that everyone is ready and prepared for whatever weather's coming their way. And now we've got Thanksgiving right around the bend, and look what you've brought in. It's lovely.
I know. I've been working on this since 1982 just to make sure everybody was safe in North Georgia. Hopefully our severe weather team too has kept you safe all of these years, and I think we're going to have a fine Thanksgiving holiday, but getting increasingly concerned about the weekend, and I'll show you why in a second. So I want you to be weather aware as we head on into Saturday night. And of course, here in Severe Weather Team 2, we'll keep you informed every step of the way with your new Chief Meteorologist, Brad Ntiz. Our 5-day forecast now. Our high temperature for Thursday afternoon will be at 63 degrees. We're looking at an 80% chance of rain developing Thursday night into Friday. Highs Friday near 58. Saturday 62 with a 60% chance of showers and storms. And by Sunday, the unsettled pattern continues. Highs in the upper 50s with about a 40% chance of showers. So we have not seen much rain lately, but we will in our immediate future.
And so, Glenn, just how we've noticed all these years you've been doing this to the very end, here you are warning us about what's coming our way on Saturday.
That's been my job. I mean, since when I came here in 1982, a little rough around the edges with a lot of snow on the ground, people having to walk home, and I said, this is not going to happen again on my watch. So what we've done over the course of the last 40 years is just try to make the best forecast possible and not let that happen again. And there's one of my favorite people in the world, Miss Karen Minton. And yeah, I did a lot of space stuff too. Love space. Have good friends that were astronauts.
Yeah, in fact, so much so, because that is one of your passions, that we're going to be visiting that just over the past 40 years, all the different reporting that you've done around space and your passion there. So we're seeing some of the pictures there. We'll see more here coming up in just about the next 15 minutes or so. We'll be taking a look at all of those out-of-this-world stories that you've done, Glenn.
Can't wait.
Beautiful.
We like seeing this. Severe Weather Team 2 tracking a warm-up, and it's coming just in time for Thanksgiving and just in time to give our Chief Meteorologist, Glenn Burns, some sunny skies for his retirement.
Yeah, Glenn, the last time you'll be doing weather for Channel 2 Action News at 4 o'clock anyway.
Yes, it is. And your new Chief Meteorologist will be joining you tonight at 11 o'clock. Meteorologist Brad Ntiz will be handing the baton off to him a little bit later.
Glenn's favorite topic, maybe, after fishing, celebrating Glenn Burns as we send him off to space. No, we're not going to really do that, but he may go on his own. Nevertheless, we know that Glenn loves his family, the weather, and fishing. And watching him over the years, you probably know he also loves space.
That's right. And Channel 2's Klein shows us what drives Glenn's passion for things that are out of this world.
Back in 1969, when I was a junior in high school, and my folks turned on the TV and they said, you need to watch this.
The Eagle has landed. Roger, tranquility. We copy you on the ground.
And then all of a sudden the man said, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. So that had me hooked.
From then on, it was all systems go for Glenn Burns and his love of space.
Well, I was mesmerized.
I think because growing up in Florida, we could see the shuttles take off.
And Glenn was able to pursue his passion thanks to his job as a reporter in Florida.
This is the Apollo rocket that went to the moon. Well, I reported a lot of that history for sure, absolutely did. And gaining the trust of the astronauts, and they were a group that were very solid. They didn't really like outsiders. They were kind of modest themselves, but they were wild guys.
Through his accurate reporting, Glenn gained their trust, eventually becoming close friends with astronauts, including Apollo 15's Al Worden.
You know, when I was in West Palm, we were doing stories on all that, and we had two astronauts, Edgar Mitchell and Al Worden. Edgar Mitchell was Apollo 14, and Al was 15, and did so many stories with him, we just got to be friends.
Glenn even has these pictures taken by Worden from space hanging in his home.
When we were first married, we lived in West Palm Beach, and the Boys and Girls Club had an event that was held once a year, and all of the astronauts attended each year. So we were able to meet anyone that would come and that was still with us, and pretty special, pretty special.
Hanging out with these guys, the stories they would tell, stuff NASA would never release. They just said that there's nothing that could ever describe adequately what it was like to be out in space and see the Earth from orbit.
The
For WSB, Glenn reported live from Cape Canaveral for the final launch of the Space Shuttle Discovery in 2011.
We had nearly 1 million people out here, spectators, journalists, dignitaries, all witnessing the farewell of our Discovery. The skies parted, 11:26, the shuttle lifted off. It was a dramatic launch about 11:26 this morning. I hope you all got to see it. It is a piece of American history.
And as excited as Glenn is about space, over the decades, he has shared that passion with viewers through a special report on Halley's Comet.
Halley's is an old comet born more than 3,000 years ago in a place out there about 1 trillion miles beyond the solar system.
Live coverage from Charleston of the 2017 solar eclipse.
Today's historic eclipse is something that they will never, ever forget.
And coverage of NASA's moon rocket.
I traveled to Huntsville, Alabama, where engineers test the rocket's components, including this 200-foot tall fuel tank. Yeah, I love space. There's no question about it. It's the future.
It's so nice that we could see your affinity for space and remember some of the ways you covered it.
Thank you. And, you know, and I had my friend Colonel Alfred M. Warden. He went on Apollo 15, and he called me to his office. And I went up, and it was my birthday, and he had this large picture. And he says, I got out between the Earth and the Moon, and I snapped this picture for you.
Wow.
What? Yeah. I mean, yeah, and signed it, and I got that on my wall at home. Just an amazing thing, yeah.
Just an amazing thing, too, in that the kid who was Glenn Burns thinking, here I am, kind of out of this world experience in being with people who've been all the way out there, right?
I know. The stories they would tell, Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, got to meet them, just incredible. I mean, that's history. That is our history.
Would you go, Glenn, if the...
In 2 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sign me up, beam me up, Scotty.
All right.
However you want to do it.
However you want to get. I'd love to go.
Well, Glenn, congrats on that. We're just getting started here on celebrating you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Glenn, it's been an honor.
4
o'clock
for
has
me
been
as well.
A lovely time to spend with you every day.
We broke a few windows, right?
Yeah, we did. We got a little crazy, but you know.
Now, listen, at home, I know you're saying, wait, what is Glenn doing? He's retiring. He's earned that, and he's going to love every second of it, fishing and the family and all that. But you're not really gone for good. You're going to be called Chief Meteorologist
Emeritus. And for the bigger storms, Chief Meteorologist Brad Ntiz will be here. I'll be back to help with some historical perspective on the larger storms that we get this coming year or so. And so it's going to be fun to come back.
All right. We'll see you back over here. You'll be driving the radar, as I hear you guys say.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, okay. We're going to keep you sharp on all the tools
Once it's
over
in
there,
your blood,
Glenn.
it's in your blood.
Yeah, that's the good thing.
Yeah.
Awesome, Glenn. We will see you again in just a few minutes as we're just getting started here today. Glenn Burns, known as Atlanta's Chief Meteorologist. We all know he's a lot more than that. And a look at what makes Glenn so special and a tribute from those whose lives he's touched straight ahead for Channel 2 Action News at 5.
Back towards the west during the day on Thanksgiving, but overnight into Friday, we have some wet weather moving in. That moves out, then another round of showers and potential thunderstorms late on Saturday. So that's something that I'll be tracking here through the rest of the week and into the weekend. And Glenn, you're going to be home watching that from your back deck for the first time.
I'm saying, yeah, I see that storm, Brad. Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
you're going to do so great. And I'm just thrilled to be able to hand it off to meteorologist Brad Ntiz, will be our new chief meteorologist. Worked with Brad over the last 17 years. No better person to be tracking severe weather for you and keeping you and your family safe.
Well, I thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's a privilege and a big responsibility. I know that, and I will continue to work every day to earn the viewers' trust.
I got to say, this love fest is fantastic between you guys.
Hey,
we
George.
see it behind the scenes all the time, but now to see it in front of the camera.
Yeah, we were talking yesterday, and you know, we're going back over the storms over the years, and you know, we've covered a lot of them together, and our primary objective here is to keep everybody safe. You know, I go back and I look at the Noonan tornado, the snow jams, the blizzard of 93s, and you know, we've been through some rough weather.
And you have done a great job of keeping everyone safe. We've had surprises all afternoon long. One of them is the fabulous cake that we wheeled in. Brad actually wheeled it into the studio. It's got all the weather on it. Sunny skies, sunshine, the tornado, some severe
hurricane
weather.
warning flags on it, too. I love that.
And his
cake.
picture, which is really the most important part.
Of course,
Yes,
there you go, George.
So what are you looking forward for the most?
I'm looking forward to spending time with my wife and family because this is, as we know, is a tough profession on home life, right? Where there's no 9-to-5 job in this business. But that's, you know, they've made a lot of sacrifices over the years. So I think I'm going to take a nice vacation during the May sweeps.
Good answer.
Absolutely. And people are recognizing you because over the last few weeks, Glenn, we've seen proclamations honoring you, of course. I mean, just take a look at this proclamation right here for your commitment to the community and your 4 decades of service. The Fulton County Board of Commissioners declared today Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns Appreciation Day. That is so great. You have a full day named after you. What are you going to do the other 364 days
off?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not over. It's not over, though. We've got more.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. More to come. Glenn, Brad, see you guys in a little bit.
We fell in love so fast.
That's Glenn's wife talking about the love they've shared for decades. All new this hour, we'll share the retirement video from Glenn's going away party.
Met in college that knew immediately that that was the one.
All right, you both are here together.
Yep.
We've got a nice big surprise.
Well, we've been celebrating Glenn and his career all month, and we're really doing it up big today because today's your last day with us.
Yeah, somebody who calls you their big brother. Who would that be?
Oh, one of my favorite people on the planet.
Surprise!
Oh, my gosh.
Well, Karen Minton.
Oh, my gosh, Karen, you look amazing.
Doesn't she look great?
Thank you. I am so excited to be here for you. Now, see, now I'm going to cry.
Don't cry. We're both criers.
Oh, I know. It's so wonderful. I cannot believe it. You know, I can still remember the day before I was hired that they brought me down to the Weather Center in the white columns. Remember that little tiny sliding glass door Weather Center we had? And that's when I first met you. And shortly thereafter, I was working here, and it was just the two of us.
It was amazing. I'm going to come around, and I have to.
Uh-oh, here we go. Oh.
You know, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Oh. Gosh, I miss you.
Can you guys hug in the light? Just hug in the light.
Hugging the light. You call him your big brother.
Yes, we've done that for years.
Always,
yes.
since day one.
And it was at one point just two of you were saying?
Yes.
Yeah, we
in
worked some long hours.
1986.
Oh my
is
gosh,
when I got
remember,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, 1986. Yeah. And I was doing the morning and noon, Monday through Friday.
There you are.
Look at her.
Oh my gosh.
That great hair.
Blizzard of 93.
Clue us in on a backstage conversation. Anything fun that you want to share with the viewers about
Not
Glenn?
that we want to share.
No.
But I just have one question. How do you like retirement?
Oh, Glenn, it is the best thing.
I hear that.
It is the best thing.
Okay.
You know, from the day when people said, so, you know, what do you do all day? Well, first of all, because of my shift, I slept.
Yep. But you were so loved and still are so loved.
As you are.
Oh, come on.
As you are. Yes,
But,
you are.
Yeah, it was such a great pleasure working with you.
It was fun. And the pictures, the video we saw of the blizzard, just the two of us. I mean,
Remember
literally,
that? Oh, my goodness.
The two of us. So there was one point, the whole area shut down. All of North Georgia was shut down. And there wasn't any food anywhere.
Oh, that's right.
And there weren't any places to stay. There was no hotel rooms.
No.
And I had dibs on the ladies' room downstairs by the old studio.
Yesterday.
And I had my sleeping bag. I had all the things that I needed right there. And that's where I stayed. I think I had taken a nap. And they did find some food. And I came out to get some. And it was all gone. Oh. Next thing I remember hearing is a little knock on the door. And when I opened the door and looked out, there was a sandwich, a hamburger.
Wonder who got that for you?
Oh, your big brother. My big brother.
Exactly.
Brought me that sandwich.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
I know.
Like yesterday, and that was one heck of a storm.
It was hysterical. It was so great, and it was so wonderful working with you. And before the times of social media, before our smartphones where we could text, we didn't even have email back then. We would leave each other handwritten notes about what we saw that day. he would give me information about what was coming up in the forecast in the next few days, and I would tell him, you know, this is what I saw while I was here, and, you know.
Do you remember Joyce Oscar?
Yes, I do.
Does she ever forgive you for sending her up to the Cohutta Wilderness Lodge, being stranded for a week?
And those are the stories that we're going to talk about in the commercial break, everyone. So thank you so much, Karen Minton, for being here.
But there's the potential for some thunderstorms, some of those perhaps strong, late Saturday and into Saturday night. Now, Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns joins me now. Glenn, we are just enjoying really celebrating you in your career today. It's been a pleasure for me to be here with you for 17 years and your service to the community for 40.
Thank you. And we've tracked some really vicious storms across northern Georgia in those 17 years. So as we pass the baton off to Brad as our new chief meteorologist, you are in very, very good hands. I assure you, we have the same thought process. We both care about everybody in this state, and we want to make sure everybody is safe. And that's our commitment here in Severe Weather Center, too, always has been.
That's what's critical, right? It's keeping people safe. That's what it boils down to. So I appreciate the time I've worked with you and your endorsement. Thank you. That's very kind. Thank you. We want to take a look now at what makes Glenn so special and a tribute from just some of the many people whose lives you've touched.
He is iconic. He is dedicated.
With the warnings expired,
the voice of reason, the voice of safety and security, the voice of calm.
Glenn Burns is your dream chief meteorologist.
50 years in the industry, 40 years at WSB, just incredible. And it was a privilege to be here with you for almost half of that time at WSB. We had a lot of good times, a lot of laughs along the way, and I'm excited for what the future holds for you.
Being a great colleague and a great friend to us, teaching us and guiding us along the way as our chief meteorologist.
I've learned a lot working alongside of you. It has been just amazing to be a part of your team, and I wish you well.
We fell in love so fast that we were married within a couple of years.
Just a random kiss?
Yeah.
The love of my life, Susan, that I met in college, that knew immediately that that was the one.
Dad, we are so proud of you and everything that you accomplish. We are looking forward to many more fun adventures. So happy retirement. See you soon. We love you.
Cheers to an amazing retirement, Dad. Wishing you all the best that life has to offer.
You've made me feel like family. You've always checked on me. I love you, my friend.
He cares about people. He cares about the community.
Glenn, thank you for your commitment to the staff, but thank you for your commitment to the community.
Congratulations on retirement from a truly remarkable career.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart for 40 years of dedicated service.
We'll be forever grateful, and we'll be forever friends. I love you, my friend.
You are like a superhero. Big old S on his chest, big old G.
Fun to see all those kind words from our coworkers and our boss, and our boss's boss, and our boss's boss's boss.
Right.
You've done great work over so many years.
I'm just very honored. I'm speechless.
And it's not over yet,
Not
so
yet.
don't you go anywhere. We're going to have much more during Channel 2 Action News at 6, including maybe something a little unexpected. That's all I'm saying.
This is where it all happens. We're in your neighborhoods, working for you with a focus to dig deeper.
You've got us, a resourceful team telling your stories with investigations that deliver results.
Channel 2 Action News, live at 4, 5, and 6.
Welcome to Channel 2 Action News at 6. I'm Justin Farmer.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Linda Stouffer. We have so much to get to tonight, so much to celebrate. We are celebrating Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns. He is retiring tonight after more than 4 decades, keeping Metro Atlanta safe.
We have an exciting hour of special stories, and we have some surprise special guests tonight, too.
Tonight, we are celebrating the Chief. After more than 40 years as a meteorologist, Glenn Burns is retiring. Okay, in the last hour, the Governor Brian Kemp, issued this commendation on behalf of the state in honor of Glenn's retirement. What an honor, and what a well-deserved honor tonight.
It's been fun, and before Glenn retires, he still has a little more forecasting to do tonight. So, Glenn, take it away.
Yeah, I'm still on the clock here for at least another hour or so, but let me show you Storm Tracker 2 HD radar.
And Glenn, look who joined us right here, meteorologist Bryan Monahan from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. He was up super early, came back to wish you well.
And I appreciate that so much. One of the best hires we've ever had here at WSB. Penn State master's degree, doesn't get any smarter than that, tracking our severe storms every morning, and he loves mornings, and you can tell that with that nice smile in the morning.
I mean, 6:08, usually I'm winding down now, getting ready for bed, but I would not miss this for the world, Glenn. Almost 41 years here at Channel 2, and you know, a couple of stories come to mind. Number one, I remember starting here back 8 years ago. It's hard to believe it's been that long. We've been working together now, and I will never forget the story of, hey, Georgia, you're moving here. Want you to sound like you've lived here for a while. You told me your story about a little town in Lumpkin County. You may know it very well.
Dahlonega?
Dahlonega. You said do not do that.
Nope.
I appreciated that and kind of taking me under your wing, like you do all of the meteorologists who come here. Very much appreciated there. Also want to tell you, one thing you always hear when you go out, people ask about, what's it like working in Severe Weather Center, too? And one thing that I always tell people, we watch you do severe weather coverage, and I think one thing that always resonates with our viewers and has made you the person that people turn to in that time of severe weather, you are so calm. Nothing rattles you, nothing bothers you, and you've got that amazing voice, by the way. I would listen to you read the phone book, and it is that voice that comforts people during severe weather. So much respect for you and so much happiness for you as you head into retirement.
Brian, you being here means a lot to me, and I remember when you first started here, so we got that Dahlonega straightened out to Dahlonega. But again, thank you for being here, and thank you for being who you are for the morning crew here.
And all the best to you.
Thank you.
Brian, thanks for being here, buddy. And he knows that it's Cairo, not Cairo. Thank you, pal. Our celebration of Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns is just getting underway. Tonight, we have a look back at his marvelous career. Some surprise special guests will be here, and Glenn has a message for all of us.
Celebrating Channel 2's Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns. 40 years of serving Atlanta. 40 years of calling it right. Whenever lives were on the line.
I'm going to make sure I do everything possible to forecast the weather so everyone is prepared for storms like this.
40 years of keeping your family safe.
You get invited into people's homes, and that trust is earned, and I don't take that for granted 1 second.
Thank you, Glenn Burns, for 40 years of severe weather coverage we can count on.
If you are just joining us tonight, it is a bittersweet day here at Channel 2 because we're celebrating Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns as he heads towards retirement, about to retire after more than 40 years of keeping all of us weather aware. Well, tonight we have a look back at his amazing career, as well as a look ahead, plus some surprise special guests. And Glenn's not done working just yet with Thanksgiving on the way. He's tracking conditions right now in Severe Weather Center 2 for the final time tonight. That's all ahead this hour.
You know, for the last 15 years, every single time I came into the studio to anchor sports, I see our meteorologist Glenn Burns, and I salute him the way Doc Severinsen used to honor and recognize Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show. So for the final time, my friend, much love and congratulations on your retirement.
Exactly right. And to you, Zach, the same. Many of us in a severe drought right now, but a weather pattern change will bring a couple of waves of rain our way. I'll get you the timing and what to expect next. All right, here's your 5-day forecast now. We're looking at Wednesday, a great day. 68 degrees, no problems for travel anywhere in North Georgia. We'll see a low of 41 degrees in the morning. Then Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, we have a 30% chance of rain. That's primarily going to be in the evening. So getting that turkey fryer out, you're looking pretty good. We'll see a temperature near 63 degrees for Thanksgiving Day. And then as we head on toward Friday, a little bit cooler, an 80% chance of rain, though, coming in with our first wave. We'll see a high temperature of 58 degrees, back into the lower 60s on Saturday with a 60% chance of rain. And on Sunday, we're looking at 60 degrees with a 40% chance for some showers. Doing a little fishing tomorrow, your peak activity, or right in the middle of the day. Please join me between noon and 3. I'll be out at the lake.
Glenn, yes, you will.
Glenn, that was a really good weathercast. I think you've got a bright future.
Thank you.
I think that was
You've done it before.
So as we are, you know who this is? As we celebrate your retirement tonight, Glenn, a special guest in studio with us, Atlanta's Mayor Andre Dickens.
I am so honored that Mr. Mayor, I can't tell you.
Well,
I look over to the left, here's the mayor of Atlanta. Oh my God.
You know, this is a special day in Atlanta, and I had to make sure I come out here to celebrate you and to honor you for 40 years of all the hard work that you've done here. For 40 years, Atlanta has depended on you to tell us about snowstorms, tornadoes, rain events, and even me as a child going to Atlanta public schools, I depended on you to tell me whether or not I was going to school in the snow. And then as a Georgia Tech student, I depended on you. And then I became a parent, and I had to also depend on you to know whether or not I was taking my daughter to school or not. And so you've been phenomenal at predicting the weather, at telling us what's going on. I've seen you work tireless hours when we had significant events. And so on behalf of all of Atlanta, Metro Atlanta, all of our visitors, we want to honor you and thank you for your service. And I'm giving you the highest honor that the city of Atlanta has, which is the Phoenix Award.
Oh my God.
The Phoenix Award is given to people that have done amazing things for our city. And for 40 years, you've done just that. And so this is for you.
Wow, Mr. Mayor, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. I am very honored for this. You know, I try to do my best each and every day, and I love Atlanta, I love North Georgia, and the people here are just absolutely the best, and I just want to keep people safe. That's been my objective since I got here from day one.
And you've done
we love you, the people of Atlanta.
Thank you so much.
And we do. We love you, and we thank you. And now enjoy retirement and continue to do great work. I know you will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens, thank you for being here tonight, sir. Very generous, and what an event. I know you'll remember it forever. And we, no, we're not done. We have a lot more celebrating to do for this special guy through the hour. We're so pleased you're with us tonight as we celebrate Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns. The man is getting ready to retire after more than 40 years of keeping us safe. So when Glenn retires at 7 p.m. tonight, I don't know if there's a balloon drop or confetti, but Brad Ntiz will become our new Chief Meteorologist.
And they have worked side by side with Brad, the rest of the team in Severe Weather Team 2, so they can continue this incredible legacy.
I couldn't be happier having the team that we have in place that will take over. I mean, meteorologist Brad Ntiz is absolutely superb, and he's the right guy for this job right now.
Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns is talking about passing the torch.
Meteorologist Brad Ntiz is going to be the new chief. Couldn't be any better. He's got a good view of all of northern Georgia. I really enjoy working with him on a daily basis.
And they've been working side by side for more than 17 years, keeping Georgians safe during our most dangerous weather.
Brad would be driving the radar. I would be in front of the green screen. I would be looking at the storms as Brad is looking for the storms. And Brad is analyzing as he's running the radar.
Glenn credits Brad Ntiz with being instrumental in making sure WSB has the best technology, anything necessary to help track the weather, to keep viewers safe, including 3D radar, which is like an MRI, allowing the team to see inside the storm.
There is nobody that is more serious about improving what we do each and every day than Brad Ntiz. He is a master when it comes to covering severe weather.
He's a great leader. He's a great person to work with because of his work ethic. He works really hard.
Brad is clear about his mission as the new chief meteorologist, getting the forecast right and protecting Georgians.
When those winds are bearing down and when your roof is about to rattle off, what a couple of minutes might mean to you and to your family, it matters. And Brad understands the equipment.
He's a great vet. He knows the latest on technology. He's very, smart. A person who can just communicate the information in a very simple way for people to understand.
earning the respect of Severe Weather Team 2 and WSB.
Another beautiful fall day tomorrow. Pick up.
Brad's simply the best. When he gets on there, Brad can talk about anything. He can put you in the right situation, and he makes you feel good about it. I think we are in amazing hands with the man that is Brad Ntiz, because he is so steady and calm and smooth. And I think it's going to be a perfect transition.
Difficult to transition from somebody who is a 40-year legendary meteorologist like Glenn, but we are in very, very good hands with Brad.
I congratulate Mr. Brad Ntiz. Well deserved. We were back in the Weather Center yesterday talking off camera about the new role he was about to accept, and working with Brad over the last 17 years has been amazing. Brad, very smart, and we think alike. When we're covering severe storms, he'll be tracking the radar, I'll be on camera, I'll be tracking the radar, he'll be on camera. We have the same point of view, we have the same goal, and that's to keep you and your family safe. That's what we do. We're a team here at WSB-TV, and Severe Weather Team 2 is always going to be here for you.
Well, I appreciate that. We've had a great partnership, and I appreciate being your partner over all these years. I've tried not to think of it as big shoes to fill, but continue building on the foundation that you've laid. And like you said, you know, sometimes, you know, we can have fun and we laugh and we'll miss that, but the important thing is when the weather is important, and keeping your family safe is more than just a catchphrase. It's our mission. And I appreciate the trust that you have put in me and Glenn over the years, and I will work to continue to earn that trust every day.
I'm excited for the both of you. For you for what's ahead, and for you for what's ahead in retirement.
And then when the weather, of course, becomes news, we listen to these guys, right?
All right, Glenn Burns, I know that you, this is a very thoughtful, feeling kind of man, and I know you'd like to share some words with North Georgia.
I would, and I hope I can get through this okay. So, you know, I got here in 1982, and we got off the plane and got out to the airport. Cars abandoned all over the roads. People walking home because we had several inches of snow that most of northern Georgia was not prepared for. At that moment, I made a commitment that that was not going to happen on my watch, and there's going to be a better way to do things. So WSB has a major commitment to news and weather, and we began putting together a plan to have the best storm tracking and procedures in place to keep you and your family safe. As of today, we have one of the best teams of meteorologists in the country, and our own radar, Storm Tracker 2 HD radar. Our forecasts, I think, are second to none. As you well know, there's always that great deal of unpredictability in dealing with chaotic atmospheric weather systems, but we've been up to that challenge, I hope, and I hope, you know, we've been through thick and thin together, right? Ice storms, snowstorms, the blizzard of '93, got that one. Snowmageddon in 2014, and we've seen hurricanes and tornadoes, and more tornadoes than I can ever remember here. And one of the worst, of course, was the 2008 tornado that hit downtown Atlanta during the men's SEC basketball tournament, causing major damage to the air. I remember the CNN windows being blown out. And my most vivid memory, however, was the Noonan tornado. It was an EF4. Winds 170 miles per hour, more than a mile wide. Homes obliterated from Heard County to Coweta County. Now, one person was killed. It was on the ground for 39 miles and possibly as long as 75 miles before dissipating in Fayette County. It was on the ground for nearly an hour. Now, I remember this man's name vividly, Barry Martin. He left his car trying to get to his daughter's house, which had been destroyed by the storm, and he suffered a heart attack and he died, and that was the day before he was supposed to walk his daughter down the aisle at her wedding. Now, our radar was picking up the debris from that storm being lofted in the air. I looked over at Brad, who was tracking at the time, and he was driving the radar, and we knew people and property were in dire straits and really getting hammered there. Noonan High School took a direct hit. Fortunately, it was at 11:30 at night. Can you imagine what would have happened during the middle of the day? I've been to hundreds of schools during the past 40 years and have heard from hundreds of school children about weather. And I could see the fear in their eyes and their face when they told me about the storms that affected their house and their neighborhoods. And I always kept that in mind, in my mind's eye. And we were tracking storms. I always wanted to convey a sense of urgency to take cover. I never wanted anyone to panic. I could just see the kids' faces, the mothers terrified inside the house, not knowing what was going on. But I just wanted to assure everyone that we were going to be here, we were tracking it for them, and everything was going to be okay. No one died as a direct result of that storm. storm in Newton. It took a team of people to stay on the air and track that storm, along with all the others we've seen over the years. And WSB has a commitment to weather and a team of people behind the scenes you never, ever get to hear about or see that make all the difference in the world. A team of such professionals you can't even imagine that keep us going. So I thank you all very much for the amazing expertise, from engineers to writers, producers, reporters, and anchors when the weather turns in the news. I've had the privilege to work with some of the best in the business here at WSB. We're the #1 news station in the country. And when I began in the mornings in 1982, I had the honor to work with the esteemed Jocelyn Dorsey, one of the best anchors, one of the best people you'll ever meet. A year later, I joined Monica Pearson, John Pruitt, and Chuck Dowdle. Today, we have Jorge Estevez, Wendy Corona, Karen Greer, Linda Stouffer, and Justin Farmer. Our morning team is amazing. I'm going to get up in the morning now just to watch, okay? Now, who could not be in a better mood after watching Fred Blankenship and Lori Wilson in the morning? Always in a good mood. I'll have what he's having. Our weekend teams with Sophia Choi, Justin Wolfon, and Candace McCowan keep you informed with the latest information, and I hope to soon tune in this weekend, too. I had the distinct privilege working with the incredibly talented news anchor who lost her battle with brain cancer just over a year ago. Her picture is just on the wall outside the news studio here. I see that every day, and it reminds me what is truly important in life. So, miss you so much, Jovita. I've had the privilege of being the chief meteorologist for the #1 television station in the country for the last 40 years, working with Jennifer Lopez, Ebony Deon, Bryan Monahan, and of course, Brad Ntiz. Now time to hand the baton off to Brad as your new chief meteorologist. We have worked side by side for the past 17 years, and I leave you in very, very good hands, I assure you. Brad is as smart as they get, has the same dedication and commitment you've come to expect from Severe Weather Center 2. I'll become the chief emeritus from time to time, be backing here for the bigger storms, add a little historical perspective. But again, I have never taken this job for granted. And when we've gotten the bad weather, I'm so happy you tuned in for us. That trust you and your family gave us was truly appreciated. It was my commitment when I came to WSB 40 years ago, and the same commitment you'll see right now in the years ahead. And I want to thank my wife, Susan, my daughter, Kimberly, my son, Christopher, and for the sacrifices you all made during the run. So I want to thank you for your trust. Until we see each other again, I want to leave you with a Celtic prayer. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine upon your face, and the rains fall soft upon your fields. Until we meet again, God hold you in the palm of your hands.
Congratulations.
Job well done.
Thank you. Well done. What a night. Thank you for being here, our family.
And once again, we congratulate Glenn Burns and his family. What an example of how it should be done, brother.
Job well done.
ABC World News Tonight is next.
Good night, everybody.